pretty cool. Welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be doing a rear tail light upgrades to the G series. So I've seen this around and that's where I got the idea, and I think it's a pretty cool upgrade. But the thing is, I never saw anybody explain how to install it. So it's not difficult to install. So if that's holding you back, you're looking at it like, hey, you know, I don't know, how am I going to put that thing in there? So that's what this video is for. So assuming you've already seen it, if not, you'll see how it looks near the end. It's a really cool upgrade. So they're everywhere on the internet. You know, I just shopped around, and the truth is I saw it cheaper on Alibaba, and then I thought about it, and I went back to order it, and it was out of stock. So I paid a little bit more, but not a whole lot. They're on eBay, Amazon, they're everywhere. The other thing I had to really think about was, you know, I like my BMW to look kind of original. So this has the chrome going across with a light bar. Now, I've never seen or BMW has never made a light bar that goes across the trunk. So I had to think about that, but you really don't have to put that on if you don't want to. But I've decided I'm going to go ahead and put it on and see what it looks like. You know, I'm going to save the trim. If I don't like it, I can always take it off and put it back. Anyways, let's get to it and see what's involved with installing these lights. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove this rear piece here. And there's just two number 10 nuts right here, and this whole piece will lift out, and then you can take this bottom piece out also. Then if you look at the back here, there is a screw-in piece right here, and it's just got like little notches in it. You can take a you know, something, either a screwdriver or a plastic trim tool, so you don't, you know, scratch anything, and then knock it around a little bit and it'll come loose. Then we have push pins that go all the way across the bottom here. Take those out. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this piece out, and this piece out. Also, in order to get this piece out, we're going to have to lift the trim up. The gasket up. So you see that just lifts right up. And we're just going to lift that up enough and move it out of the way. We don't have to take it all the way off. Anyway, we're going to get that stuff done, and then we're going to move on and see what else we have to do. Okay, so we got that stuff out, as you can see. Now I removed the battery positive cable. It's probably not completely necessary, but anytime I touch something electronic on these cars, I like to do it just to be on the safe side. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these side pieces out. So it's pretty basic. You have like a push pin here, and there is a push pin here up in the top. Now down here at your luggage tie downs, there's two Allen screws. So you take the Allen screws out, those push pins out. Then there's a piece of trim that goes around here. So this one's actually broke, so it's not giving you a good example, but this one over here, you lift up on the back of it, and then that back piece will come out. I'll show you once I take it off, and then this whole thing will lift out. So you do that, and then of course you have to, you know, get your gasket going till this point here, and take your push pins out, your luggage tie downs out, and that's all there is to removing these two side pieces. So we're going to remove both side pieces, and then we're going to move on and see what else we got. Okay, so you can see this piece. I'll try to show you. You see how one side has like a little hook and the other side has a little catch. So this is the way they go in there, so you can't just like pry straight out on them. You see the hook catches there, and the other piece goes underneath there, and it kind of clips in, so you can get it out without breaking it. Okay, so that's out. Move that over there. So you can see we got both sides out. Next thing we're going to do is remove this trunk lid, or the cover. So there's Phillips screws all the way around this thing, everywhere, all the way around. Now what you have to do, you take your same little pry tool, and this will pop out your trunk release, and you can unplug it. Same way with your light. You just pry on it easy on the edge, and it'll pop out, and you can unplug it. Then there's your trunk release here. So that's, you know, they put those in cars now in case people get trapped in the trunk. You can release the lid. So it's just got like a cable piece inside there. You just need to pull on this a little bit and work that cable piece out so that cable is just hanging free. And then if you got a lot of weight in here, mine come with nothing in it except a tow hook. That's what I got. So anyway, if you got a lot of weight in there, take it out first. It's going to make your life easier. But what we're going to do next is go ahead and remove this cover. Now there's slots back here. So once you get all these screws out and everything loose, you know, that'll just pull around these closer hinge. So take care of that next, and then we'll see what else we got. And by the way, stay till the end. I'm going to do a little video and show how it looks at night. That's what I think is the real test with the way it looks at night. And we'll see what you all think about it, if it's a good upgrade or not. Okay, I kind of just wanted to show you what's going on here. So I got all my screws out. So as you can see, they're like Phillips, but they're also like a push pin. Now there are a couple metal Phillips back here, and what they are doing is holding this piece on it, as like you can see. Now there's a piece of rubber there that just clips in it. So when you get those screws out, you know, it'll come loose. So mine's loose, I just got to work it out of here. I just wanted to show you what's going on so you're not confused when you get to it. So let me get this piece completely out, and then we'll move on. Okay, so we got to get this chrome piece off the back, and that just clips on. It's just got clips and snaps on. Just get you a plastic body tool, and you know, like this, so you don't scratch up your paint and pop it off. Then what you have to do, you're going to have to take your license plate off, and you got like a torch screw right here. And then if you look inside, there's a screw right up in here and one on the other side. So we can take this plastic cover off. We're going to have to take this off. It's actually a plastic cover to get to the lights. Then there's 3 screws. There's 1, 2, and 1 up in this hole, 3 that hold the light in place that we have to take loose. So if we look at this, this is just plastic. So that plastic piece will come off. We need to get that to get our lights out. The other thing is on the side here, if we look on the side of our thing, we have this piece of trim that goes on there. Okay. Now that just clips on. It's just got clips in there. Again, take your body tool and just pry it off and get it out of the way. Sounds complicated, but it's not that difficult. It's just a matter of taking a couple things loose. And we're going to get that done, and then we'll move on. Okay, so if you got everything loose, that light will just fall right out, basically. It just comes right out. So what I always do too, just a hint, if ever you look at the part you're going to put on and you can see exactly how many bolts there are and how it clips on there, you realize that this just clips on the back, that chrome piece, and you see that there's no finish here. So there's obviously something stuck on the side there to give it a finish. I know it seems complicated. It seems like we got half the car ripped apart, but it's not really. All this stuff comes off pretty easy, and it's just, you know, it's mostly just to look good. Here's where our real metal is. I got that plastic cover on here to help it, you know, give some shine or whatever. And you can tell it's not sealed good. You can see it's dirty underneath there. So at any rate, this light's still in there. I haven't taken the screws out. Going to take the screws out of that. And then we're gonna stick the other piece up there and see what we got. Okay, so I got the lights and the trim on. I put this plastic piece back on. So what I wanted to show you too is it gives you these extra things that are like, what am I gonna do with those? And I'm sure they're to run the LEDs, but the old ones did not have that. So I'm gonna stick them up in here inside somewhere where they're kind of secure and put some wire ties on them, so because I don't want them flopping around. The other thing is they give you a little plug here. So it looks like this, when we put the side lights on, there's a plug that goes in here to help them to work together, evidently. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie these up on both sides, and then we're going to go ahead and start working on the side pieces. So if you look at the side piece, there's just insulation here. Now, both sides are a little bit different, but what you need to do is just work the insulation back around. Like some of this stuff you can just pull off, that you can just pull off, but you need to work it around the closer here so you can get to the back. Now here's your nuts. I'm probably getting dizzy there, but here's your nuts for your rear tail light, and there's 3 of them. Again, we can come over here and we can look at our tail light. We can see one's here and then 2 here is what you just saw. The third one is back in there. It's a little bit difficult to see, but you get the idea where it's at. So very simple, 3 things, and the plug is here, but it's kind of difficult to get your hand on. I've taken these before, and those 3 nuts is all you need to get the lens out, or the light out, and then unplug it once you pull it out a little bit. There's enough slack in there, you can do that. So we're going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to move on and see how we get our wire up to the other tail light. Okay, so the lights are in there. Next thing we got to do is get the wire up here. So that's the wire we have here that plugs in here. Okay, so as you can see, there's a wiring harness that goes through the hinge here that is hollow. So what I did is I got a fish tape, and if you don't have one, they're not expensive. I mean, just Home Depot, Lowe's, and any hardware electrical store have them. And fed it up there. Now I tried feeding it down and I couldn't get it to go. This is the worst one. That's why I started here, because of the wiring harness. It kept binding on the wiring harness. So I was able to get it in here underneath the wires, and it stayed on the bottom and fished its way up. So I got it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another wire and, you know, use electric tape and tape it real good to here and pull it through. Because obviously if I pull this through, that's the wrong way. So once I get the other wire through, then I'll tape it onto the wire that we need to come up and pull it back through. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not really. This other one, I haven't, like I say, I haven't tried this one yet, but there's nothing in this other one except for one cable. We might be able to push fish tape through the right way and do one pull on it. But at any rate, that's what we're going to do next, is get those wires up there, and then we'll move on and see what we got to do next. Okay, so I got it through, plugged in. I just wanted to take a minute and say, you know, you got to be a little bit delicate. You got all these wires, and they're not big, heavy wires running up this chase. So I was able to get the fish tape down this way and tape it up. But when I tape it, I tape all the way up past where the wired thing is, to try to make sure there's nothing that can get caught. Make sure it's smooth and pull it. But if it won't go, back off of it, because you don't want to get it, you know, if you snag one of these wires and rip one of these wires, you're going to have a real nightmare. You're probably going to end up at BMW or somewhere trying to get the wire replaced. At any rate, you know, not to scare you, it's just, you got to be careful a little bit. So we're going to pull this wire through. And then, as you can see, we got wires hanging everywhere. We got to plug our light back in. I'm going to wire tie them things up like I said, and I'm going to pull these wires up real neat and wire tie them. And then we're going to move on and see what we got next. Okay, so you want to make sure you leave yourself enough slack. The wires are plenty long enough to go up there. So I shoved some down in that way. And then I wrapped up the excess and taped them up top here. And like I said, I taped those, or wire tied those two, whatever they are, for the LEDs. And you can see we're getting it back together. So we still got to do the other side. I would, when you get to this point, get everything ready, plug it in, hook your battery back up, and turn your lights on and make sure everything works before you put everything back together. You know, some kind of glitch. You don't want to be putting everything back together and then taking it all back apart again. Be sure to stay tuned. We're going to take a look at what it looks like when it's nighttime out. Like I say, I think that's the real kicker. Hard to see during the day. And to be honest, I might have 2.5 hours in this, and that includes making the video too, because you got to figure every time I'm filming this, I got to stop, and you know, it takes extra time. So I mean, 2.5, 3 hours, and it's a nice, looks like it's going to be a nice upgrade. But you pretty much just got to put everything back, put your side pieces on, put your floor in, put your trunk liner back on, and you got it. So, like I say, stay tuned, and we're going to see what it looks like at night. So here we go, the big test. I got a helper in the car turning things on for me. Okay, now. Pretty cool. Okay, left. There's your left turn signal. Okay, right. Right turn signal. Okay, brake. Brake. Awesome. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.